this side, from where we started from to where we are going, we'll be climbing about 250 feet above sea level. That's the way that we'll be climbing. So it's a bit of a hiking thing. It will be an exercise. So as we go, we get some resting points for this. So I will show you people. It'll be 3. So the first one we will get down for this side. Mostly the resting point will be for people where them tired, they know if you could continue then so we just keep them, make them rest more, then continue the journey. So we go right here. The 765 meters one is within the forest, and we have also one that goes down here, which is the larger one. So where we are standing now is called the boundary line. Now the reason for the boundary line is because it separates the forest into 2. That is the secondary where we are coming from, and we are just about to enter the primary. Now for the secondary, the reason why it's called secondary is because there have been changes being made. KAKUM itself, its originality actually is from some of the monkeys in the forest, and the sound they make is kiap, kiap, kiap. So what happened is that the time that people were actually given the opportunity to come in and hunt and all those things, there are some rivers running through this forest, and there are 11. The largest one of it didn't have a name. There is even a place in Cape Coast here when you were coming called KAKUM. I don't know if you guys saw, but there is after the bridge. There was a bridge, yes. So that river you saw running through that, under that bridge, it runs through this forest. And that is the largest river in Cape Coast, and it runs through about 11 or 35, about 35, communities in Cape Coast. Okay, there are sites like that, but then most of the time we give that opportunity to people who come for specific purposes. That is for hiking. Yeah, so people come here purposely to hike, and the hiking is in different types. People come here for elephants hiking. People come here for plant hiking. You get me? I know of.
Does it mean that they're going to see elephants?
Yes, so we take them into the bush, deep into the bush, and it's more like we are hunting for elephants. Not necessarily that we are killing them, but then just to see them, exactly. So people do come here, and such people, what they do mostly is that they book for the tree house. They stay in the tree house, and then in the night we take them on the hiking, and then we do a repetition of that also are done for them. So I want to pause here and show you some trees that we do have here that we use as well. You could see one here, and there is one too at this side. Now I want to explain a little about this, and we continue. So this tree that you could see here, waterproof. Now this one has some leaves, and I think these are the leaves, yes. So these leaves were used during those times, the ancient times, to cover their roofs. The reason is because the rubber, yeah, so the face or the upper part of the leaf is very silky, and that actually prevents pests and all those things not to be able to eat it up. So it was more like so hard for them to actually penetrate. So they packed these things together and use it as roofing. And the reason why they use it as roofing is because, since I told you, it has a silky part. So when it rains, it just flows off it. And that is one thing that they were using this tree for. And this tree too can be used for other many purposes, you know, buildings and all those things. Okay, so we move to that of the Esa as well, which is also one of the major trees used to support the canopy. So for the Esa, this Esa, we know of our local food, fufu, and we have a pestle that is being used to pound. So the smallest trees of Esa are used to make those pestles to pound the fufu. Yes. And this is one of those. Yes. So purposely it's for that. And also you can use it for, you know, buildings as well, since it's a wood and other stuffs. Yes. Roofing and all those things. Yes. So this is the Ofam tree. This is also part of the trees that support the canopy. Now this tree, during those times, it was used as a hiding point. So why it was used for hiding is because it has a very huge, you know, spaces around it. And then what they were using it for was to hide. The reason for hiding is, you knew you had those wars in the ancient time, those First World War and those the Ashanti War. So these were the trees that they were using as hiding points. So they stand within those holes, and then whenever the enemy is approaching, they just use their saw, their arrow and bow to just, you know, shoot, and then they get to the enemy. Yeah, so that was what they were using. And also they were also using that more as a place of a home. So what they were doing was that they just make a cover over where the thing is, the hole is, and then they sleep there. And you could see that when you go to the other side of it too, there is another space like that. So they make it as a kitchen, and another space as a bathhouse, and another space. Yeah. So those times, this was what they were using, the farm tree, because it has very big spaces around it, and the roots. Yeah. So that was what they were using as a place of living, until the time came that we all had to leave and enter the city, and then use the cement and all those things to build. Okay. So the canopy we have here, we have 8 canopies. I know many of you have heard that we have 7. Yes, we do have 7, but now there have been additions, which is 8, and there is one ongoing, which will be added to it to be 9. The reason why we have 8 canopies here is because people are scared to go for all the 7. So we've made shortcuts for such people the moment they are through with the first canopy. So on the first canopy, the moment you end to a point, which is also there, you just take your left side, and to the shortcut, you take a shortcut, which is 1, and then you end up finishing on the 7th canopy. You get me? But then mostly people want to know how fun it actually is, so they go for all the 7, and we encourage people to actually go for all the 7. For the canopies, it has a height from 11 meters to 40. The highest of it all, the one that is really high, is the 3rd one. It's really high. It has from the canopy to the floor is 40 meters. Yes, so it gets a little bit scary on that side, but that doesn't mean you will fall. Now the canopy is made of ropes, hard irons, woods. You know, all these things are parts. We know of rope. Even if we are using rope in the house to hang our things, it shakes, it swings, and all. The same way as this, it swings, but that doesn't mean you fall. There are maintenance done every single day, and there is a maintenance done after every 3 months or 6 months. Yes, within that time. Now, the first maintenance that they do every day is because they want to make sure it's really safe for everyone who came to pass. Like this day. So before you came, we were here about 7, 8 a.m. to check all these things, and we have workers there who do that. They check the ropes, everything intact. Before those down there, we alert them to come. We are using talkie. We do have some here, and they communicate, and then before we allow people to. So if there is any fault, we let the people stay down until it's finished before we come. and we haven't even had any incidents since this was made. Yes, so you guys are safe, and then we can move on it. Okay. So this is the denta. Denta is also used for the fufu bowl, the one that we pound the fufu in it. And this is one of the trees too supporting the canopy. And you could see that the canopy has been connected to it with strong irons and roots on it, and you could see it up there. Yeah. So this is one, and this is actually supporting the first canopy. Yeah, so we climb up. All right, so this is the first canopy that we see here. As I repeat again, we have a shortcut on the left side, your left hand side. The moment you step on the second canopy, there is no return. You have to go for all the 7. So this is what most of the times we tell the people who come around here, so that they are alert and know what to do. I've been on this for a long time, so most of the time I don't hold any of the ropes. I just walk freely. But then if there is any kind of shake or fear or anything, I urge you to hold the ropes and then move gradually on it, then we go.